Let's get to the really fun part. So last time we did a splash screen, which is nice and all, but now we're really going to get to the game development. So let's take a look at the visual novel. Basic, like all of the other blocks, except for the splash screen, you're going to see an HTML page that you don't need to touch and a config file. Like all of the other blocks, it's going to work right out of the box. So here's my visual novel.
Meet Jose. Born at the turn of the century in a little house near the Biobío River.
There's the caption, there's the background image, and as you can hear, there's a voiceover that is optional, but I have it in this one.
His parents expected him to die there too, and for a while, he thought the same thing.
And when you click on the next arrow, it goes on to the next screen. There's the next image, there's the next caption, and as you heard, the next audio. So that's all cool, right? But that is not the visual novel we want. So what I had done is I had copied this and made a copy of it, and I renamed it to Plastic. And because I'm not a big hypocrite, I told you in this second video that you should go and find some artwork and have that ready. So I put in the artwork I wanted as opposed to the artwork that came with this block. And so now, and I didn't have to, but I renamed it to Reuse. So now I'm going to go ahead and change the config file. All right, first thing you're going to see here, this background size, you don't actually need to touch that. The background size and a lot of other things are set in this game theme right here, which we'll talk about in another video. So ignore that for now. Now, autoplay audio on new screen is going to be true or false. If you put true, then you're expected to have audio to play. And if you want to record voiceovers, you could do that. For right now, I don't have any voiceovers recorded yet, so I'm just going to put false. Also, if you do have voiceovers, but you don't want them to play automatically, and you put false, there will be a speaker button shown in the top left. But for right now, I don't have any yet. The completion URL, I put menu/menu.html because that's where I want to go when they're done with this block. The title was Meet Jose, but clearly I don't want that. I'm just going to give it a working title here, Bottle Frenzy. All right, and then what do I want as a background image? So I just have images because these images are in the same directory as my visual novel page, reuse.html. They don't have to be. They could be anywhere in your project, but this just happened. All right, so I'm going to give it the correct name of the image, and then has back button is true. So you saw that button where I could click to go back. I think 90% of uses you are going to want that. So I just leave it there so they can go back to the previous screen, but sometimes you might not. So it's an option. All right, what do I want to say here? This is my first screen, and I have two kids, and one of them is saying to the other, "Hey, Jaden, what are you doing with that plastic bottle? I thought you loved the ocean." I have no audio because I have no voiceover, so I'm going to take out where it says audio 1. If I'd said true for autoplay audio and I didn't have any audio, it would throw an error, but I said false. Background image, I think that's what I want. So that's my first scene. And I'm putting my alt text, two boys. One holding a plastic bottle. Then my next scene. So I'm just going to go through and repeat what I just did for every scene. You don't have to put screen 1 here, screen 2, but I do because I find it easier to keep track. After each scene, you're going to have a comma. So these are objects, so you can see that each one of these is going to be between those curly braces, and everyone is going to have text 1, which is whatever is going to be shown the captain. Everyone is going to have a background image. If you reuse the background image, you don't need to show it again, but in this case I have a new background image in each one. I have an alt text for the background image in each one. So I just go down and I do that for as many screens as I want. So then when I get down to the last one, that's it. You do not need to change any of this export statement here. All you need to do is for each scene, put the text you want, put the image you want, and alt text isn't strictly required, but you should have it because it's a lot friendlier to people who are visually impaired. So let's take a look at how it comes out. So here is my visual novel here, title screen, first scene, there's no back button because there's nothing to go back to, third scene, and so on. One thing I did want you to notice is that you can have a GIF file in here so that you have something that's moving, right? If you want to see that again. And then when you get to the end, it's going to go on to the next scene, which in this case is the menu. And as you can see, this is not the menu I want for my EcoQuest game. It's the one that is shipped with the blocks. So in another video, we'll show you how to change that menu.